Yugoslavia, or the nation formerly known as the collection of nations formerly known as Yugoslavia, had a very thriving music scene during the 1970s. A lot of it taking in the best of Western rock, hard rock, jazz rock, classical folk, and putting their own unique spin on it, and mixing it in ways that you don't hear concocted elsewhere. And many bands got to record. Some bands didn't quite get the opportunity. One band that had a hard time getting their music out there due to the political situation at the time was an avant-trad band named Begnagrad. They recorded an album in 1977 that didn't see the light of day for 15 years until it was issued on cassette 15 years, like in 92. But in 82, they got a small press out of what became their one official album at the time, self-titled. And in 1990, it was reissued as Konzert for a Broken Dance. And from that album, the track Cocn Rolla. I'm already picturing like a circus gone wild or something. Like chaos having broken out amongst like stunt people and clowns and elephants running amok and everything. Just notice those really like fractious guitars like in one channel, and there's that accordion coming out of another, and then there's that real persistent bass like going between those two notes really fast, and that snare drum kind of guiding along. Really fractious guitar work, almost like Sonny Sharrock. I love that key, Sarah. This is like the main earworm of the track for me, right in here. Really great tonal clarity and separation of different instruments, like on this end from that end from the center. Notice the command the drummer has of his set. Can any of you count that meter out? This is very, I gotta say, it seems like this would have been very much influenced by Zamla Mama's Mana, if anyone. Most of the time the bass has been like vacillating between two notes, but it just has a real like driving, almost hypnotic quality to it. And this is the part where the crescendo, where afterwards, where whatever chaos had been going on has just subsided. Now someone's just wandering into the aftermath of it all, and there's just all the like the whole place has been ransacked or something, and the cleanup crews have arrived. Huh, yeah. Cocn Rolla by Begnagrad off their self-titled album of 1982, later released under the more distinctive title, Konzert for a Broken Dance. One of Yugoslavia's most out there bands, of many bands that were pushing the envelope, but this one in particular would have fit perfectly into those concert packages that brought together the likes of Stormy Six, Zamla Mama's Mana, Etran Fule Lublin, the Rio concerts as they were known, although standing for Rock in Opposition, although I'm not sure if the Rio organizing committee at the time knew about this band, or vice versa, if this band knew about that network of bands from like Western Europe that were getting together and helping boost one another through like using their mutual name recognition. Yeah, recorded May 1982. Yeah, this that part where the song dropped into what momentarily seemed like a G minor seventh key center. That do no 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 no, and there's all those other notes just darting around it or against it, kind of even outside the tonal area of that chord itself, but in fact, perhaps throwing in a tritone at odd moments, but that has always been the part that I think of. It's like one of like three main earworms from this album, which I first bought back in 1992. This is the kind of music that I was finding through like underground music catalogs. When back in '92, it was still important to me that I still longed for uh, good music in the there and now. Back in those days, there was something that was more important about music being fresh. It would be a few years later that I'd ultimately resigned to the fact that that the best years have passed, and it's for the better because it's going to take me years to work through all the great music of the era directly preceding my own adolescence. Um, and so, for more rubies and sapphires from this band, this album, and others from the former Yugoslavia, see the album directory, the directory of albums from the former Eastern Bloc. I've got all the former Eastern Bloc nations as well as the Balkan Peninsula. I even got Israel on there, simply because I only have about 20 or so albums from Israel, and my uh, the minimum for making a separate directory was like 150 albums, and so I didn't. There wasn't enough music from the Middle East to merit, or from like the Caucasus, that part of the world to merit a separate directory, and so I just put the few like the two albums I have from Turkmenistan, into the Eastern Europe, but I specify in the description albums from the former Eastern Bloc, the Balkan Peninsula, and Israel. Yeah, and hundreds of rubies, hundreds of sapphires. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.